This week at High Peak, we've got another very busy 7 days. First up, we're starting work on a very cheap Porsche Boxster that I bought. Then we're heading over to Cheshire to pick up a car that I've agreed to buy from a YouTube viewer. We'll also be taking delivery of a brand new press car that I've got for the next 7 days, and it's quite an interesting car. Then we're all off to Huddersfield to pick up a smart car that I've agreed to buy, and then I'll give you a quick tour of all the fresh stock. Finally, I need to stop by my mechanics, pay my massive bill, and check in on a few ongoing projects. It's all happening, so let's get started. Hello and welcome back. Well, today we've got quite a busy day. I've got to go over to Cheshire shortly and pick up one of my all-time favourite cars. I'm not telling you what it is, so you'll have to stick around and see. But also, more pressing, I've just had my Porsche Boxster dropped off. Now, a few days ago, or maybe a couple of weeks ago now actually, I bought a Porsche Boxster from London, and it was a little bit tatty, so it needed the wheels doing, a new wing mirror, all sorts of stuff really. It did a little bit of paint work as well. So Jimmy's done the paint, it's had a front bumper painted and the rear bumper painted, and it now looks really good. I've just ordered a replacement door mirror from eBay. Now, it's quite difficult to get hold of. What I've got is a 2011 Porsche Boxster, which is the 987. But the 987, the pre-facelift, had slightly different wing mirrors. So what I was looking for specifically was a 987.2. Anyway, I found one. It was the only one on eBay. So I've ordered that. So as soon as that arrives, I can fit it. But I also need a rear light. And I was just looking on eBay then, and they're £450 for a new rear light. I couldn't believe it. I was hoping to get one for like 100 quid. You know, these aren't new cars anymore, are they? But again, the 987.2 apparently are quite rare, I guess. So £450. Thankfully, though, I've got quite a decent profit margin in this, so, well, I need it. Next stop, then, is to go to Prestige Wheels. I'm going to have the wheels refurbished. It's got these really nice Boxster S2, I think they're called, style wheels. They're like diamond cut, but because it's spent its life in London, they're all a bit battered and curbed, so I need to get those done. So we'll hit the road then, and I shall see you at Prestige Wheels.
Lovely stuff. Can we do it one more time? I want to get Prestige Wheels logo in the background.
Moaning about the petrol job.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, we're happy?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
No, I'm joking.
Well, I've just dropped the Porsche Boxster off at Prestige Wheels, so I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. It should look really good. They said it'd be ready in about 3 to 4 days' time. So next stop then for us is Cheshire, to go and get this car I told you about. So we're on our way over to Cheshire now to pick up a 2018 Nissan Qashqai 1.2 petrol, and it's the N connector model, which is quite a good spec. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Qashqais, but they do always sell really well, so I thought this would be quite good stock. I got an email last week from a regular customer of mine, and this car belonged to his father, who's now not driving anymore, so he asked me if I wanted to buy it. So we negotiated a deal, he sent me some photographs of it, and that's all I know. I haven't actually seen the car yet, but it looks pretty good on the pictures. I don't think it needs an awful lot of spending on it. They're quite cool, the new Santa Fe.
Yeah, drive.
The Hyundai thing. They look really cool. It's a bit EV9-ish, isn't it? It's in a bright sort of like city blue, and it's done 50,000 miles, and it's got full Nissan service history. So I don't think I'm going to spend too much on this one really. I'm going to take it straight away for a valet and then see what else it needs. Now, I've paid £8,200 for this car, and I think it'll retail for about 10, so it should leave me a fairly decent profit margin really. I'm hoping I don't spend any more than about £300 on it, and then it should leave me a margin of about 1,500 quid. So yeah, be quite happy with that really. Like I say, I've only seen photographs of this car, so we'll have to see what it's like when I get there in person. But what I will say is, this previous customer in question, I've bought a couple of cars from him, and they're always very accurately described. So I don't have any doubts, to be honest. It's should be a decent thing. Well, we're here. It looks all right, actually. It's quite a good colour, that. I don't expect this will sit around on the forecourt too long. I think it'll sell quite quickly. All I need to do now then is go in and do the paperwork, pay for it, and I'll give you a quick tour. Well, here it is, my 2018 Nissan Qashqai N connector in Manchester City Blue. I'm quite pleased with it really. The wheels are all in good condition. It's got matching reg plates from Nissan, so that's good. There's a little dent there, which I think I'll get the dent lads to pop out, and a couple of little stone chips, which I'll touch in carefully. But yeah, no, I'm quite pleased with it so far. I don't think there's an awful lot to do to it. One thing there is to do, actually, now, I managed to renegotiate the price when I saw this, but the parcel shelf's missing, and there's only one key. I think it should have another sort of false floor here. I'm pretty sure there should be another level to this boot, and there should be obviously a parcel shelf there. So I'll go on eBay and order the floor and the new shelf. That's probably going to cost me another £100 or so. It needs a pretty good valet. There's lots of, you know, I don't know what you call that, green stuff, like it's been parked under a tree. But yeah, not too bad at all. A few little marks here on the back bumper, but I think with a heat gun, that should come up looking all right. Now, moving inside, yeah, it's all in quite good order. And being the end connector, it's quite a good spec. So you get lane keep assist, you get auto headlamps, auto full beam, panoramic glass roof. It's a 6-speed manual, and yeah, it's the 1.2 petrol turbo, which is not a bad engine actually. They can suffer with timing chains, but if they've been serviced well, which this one has, they don't usually give you much trouble. And again, even if you have to replace the timing chain on these, it isn't too dear of a job. Got the locking wheel nut there, all the service history. It is due a service on time, not miles. It was last done by Nissan at 47,000 miles, and it's only done 49,900, I think. So I'll get it serviced. It's got an MOT till November, but I'll put it through a fresh one anyway. We even got half a tank of fuel, look at that. So yeah, all in all, I'm quite pleased with this really. So I'm going to get it to the valeters now. I'm going to head over to Tameside Detailing and leave it there for a full clean. Quite a nice day today in Cheshire. Takes a while, doesn't it? But yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm quite happy with this purchase. I'm going to go and do this now and then head back to the garage and see what's going on. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Cheers, guys. Well, we got it back to Tameside Detailing, where I've left it for a full valet. I've driven it for about half an hour now, and it's faultless. Couldn't find any faults with it at all. I've ordered a parcel shelf for it off eBay. That was £50. I'm still going to try and find the boot floor. I need to make sure that I get the one that's correct for this model of car. So I'll do some more digging, do some more research with that. But yeah, no, I'm quite impressed with it so far. There's not much really to tell you about it. I'll get it serviced, get an MOT done. I'll get it valeted first and then photograph it and put it on the website. That's pretty much it. We'll head back to work now, then I'll do the advert for it. And then as soon as it's ready here, I'll come and pick it up and then photograph it and then complete the advert. Job done.
This is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
The downside is the Renault bit. Mid-engined. Well, that's off to the little loop. No, the engine's there. We'll have to figure out how to open that.
Whoa, that is a nice interior. Yeah?
Nice colour. It's not the standard blue Alpine
No.
as well.
Is it not?
No. Well, I like it.
Oh, that's good. I've never heard an engine behind me before.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. These are proper bucket seats too.
And it's all about weight reduction. It's a smaller car. It's the same as like a 1980s 911 size-wise.
Okay.
And it's very light, so you don't need a massive engine. It's not going to be too thirsty on fuel.
Yeah.
Small man. Ooh.
Oh, I instantly hear that just revs.
Backfires.
Nice.
Right, look at that. That's what.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah. Cool car.
Subject to availability.
No front. Nice though, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
I'm excited to drive that.
Yeah, man. When have you got it for?
I'm having it the weekend.
Nice.
Promise I'm going to take my daughter out in it.
Sick.
Well, it's a new dawn and a new day, and we're heading up to Huddersfield to pick up a Smart 4.2. So it doesn't get much more exciting than this, does it? I've agreed to buy this 2016 65 reg Smart 4.2 from a viewer called Martin. He emailed me last week and asked if I wanted to buy it. He was the original owner, he bought it brand new, and it's only done 15,000 miles. It's also a Passion model, which I think is the top spec. Now, this is the third generation smart car. I've never actually had one of these before. I've had plenty of the Mark 1 and the Mark 2s, which I've always quite liked. They're quite quirky, really, but I've never had a Mark 3. This one's a 1 litre petrol, which is a 3-cylinder engine, and it's automatic. Now, on the early smart cars, the automatic gearbox was dreadful, but on this Mark 3, I think it's a DCT, so I think it's a twin clutch gearbox. It should be much better. So I'm quite intrigued to see how it performs, really. We're about 25 minutes away now, so when we get there, I'll give you a full tour, and then I'll drive it back. Just to give you an idea on figures, I've agreed to buy this for £5,300. I thought it'd make great stock, to be honest. I've had quite a busy spell, so I'm always looking for stock. And I think this will retail for about £7,500. And I don't think there's an awful lot to do to it. I think it'll need a valet. I don't think it needs a service or an MOT, so there's very little to spend. So it should be a nice healthy profit margin for once. So that's about it. So I shall see you when we get there. Well, we've just arrived in Huddersfield. We're just trying to find out where exactly the car is. I know it's only a smart car, but I can't see it anywhere. I'm gonna have to give the guy a call, actually, I think.
A few moments later.
Well, after searching high and low, we finally found it. There it is. So, I'm gonna go and speak to the guy, and I'll give you a tour of it very soon. Well, here we go then. I've just been and paid Martin for it, done the paperwork. Now we've got both sets of keys, which is good. What's weird, actually, I don't know if you can see this on the video, but the keys are like Renault keys. I wasn't aware that they'd done a collaboration. Although, having said that, some Mercedes use Renault engines, don't they, like the A-Class? So that does make sense. But yeah, so we've got a Renault-style flip key there, and another remote fob. I've just had a quick look around it, and it's in really good condition. So the tyres are all good. Plenty of meat on those. It's quite a good colour combination as well. I quite like the blue. And it is indeed a Passion model. So there's very little to do to this. Needs a bit of a clean, but there's nothing really to do. Tyres are all good. They're an awful lot bigger than they used to be. Now, Martin was just saying this is their fourth smart car. So they had, the very first one was one of the first Mark 1 left-hand drives, which I actually had years ago myself. The only little bit of damage is just down on this side. So I just need to get a touch-up pen in the same colour and do a couple of little touch-ins. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, because it's a Smart 4.2, there's not an awful lot to show you, really. Not sure how you get the boot here. So that pops open, and then this folds down like a Range Rover. We've got a split folding tailgate. Now, comparing these to like the early Mark 1s, that boot's massive. On the first models, the boot was tiny, but they have come a long way, really. Now, moving inside, it's in really good condition. I am quite looking forward to driving this, because I've never driven one of these before. And it isn't often these days I get in a car that I've never driven before. So it's only done 15,000 miles, and it even smells like new, to be honest. We've got a gear lever there, which is more like a traditional gear lever as opposed to a semi-auto. The previous generation had, it was a bit complicated. You had to press a little button on the side to get it between manual or auto. Climate control there, air conditioning. It's all quite cool, this, really. I think what we're going to do next then is head over to the valeters, over at Tameside Detailing, and leave it there for a full clean. Interestingly, these buttons and switches are very Renault. I'm sure that's a Renault mirror toggle. In fact, those buttons down there are Renault as well. Those rocker switches, they are Renault. Well, I didn't know that. Anyway, I think there's some profit in here for me. Excuse me, I'm still full of a cold. Yeah, I think there's some profit really. Look at the size of the glove compartment. You would get a pair of gloves in there and that's it. Let's get this on the road then, shall we? Let's fire her up. Gauges do a little sweep there like a Porsche. Oh yes. Little 3-cylinder. I wonder if this is a Renault engine then. Because they do a 0.9 3-cylinder in the Clio and stuff and the Twingo, so it might be the same. They're quite reliable engines those actually, so fingers crossed.
How is it then?
It's alright actually. I'm quite impressed. For a tiny car there's actually a bit of space inside, you're not completely squashed. Right.
Leaving it through.
Okay then, let's get this in reverse. Oh, we've got power steering. You know what, that's such a luxury. Because on most smart cars, especially the first and second generation, either didn't come with it at all, or it was an expensive optional extra, and nobody ever optioned it. Most people, I think, thought, oh, it's only a smart car, I don't need power steering, but you really did. I bought one once for my mum as a birthday gift. She talked about wanting one as a little, car to go to the shops in. Then after a few months of using it, she just fell out with it, mostly because of the heavy steering. But yeah, this is quite nice. Steering wheel's quite an interesting design actually. So we've got cruise control on it, and I think you can change the gear on the steering wheel as well. I think I'll turn my start stop off because I don't like it. It does feel much more modern and much bigger than previous generation smart cars. I could run around in this, it's alright actually. Because they've got such a small wheelbase though, you do feel all the bumps. You sort of bounce over the bumps. They don't really absorb. We've got half tank of fuel as well. Now these have always been really fuel efficient, so this will do 50 or 60 miles per gallon easily. Gonna have to do a bit of a performance test here, getting out to the main road. See if we can get some wheel spin.
They rear wheel drive these, aren't they?
I don't know,
Oh.
The previous ones were.
Yeah, the one we had on Transformation was.
Yeah, the previous ones were. I don't know about this. It could well be.
Well, we'll see if we do.
We'll see. I don't know much about this era. One thing straight away is that's improved. Feels like rear wheel drive actually. I don't know. Could be wrong. One thing that I've noticed that's a big improvement on this era of smart car is the pedals. So like in the previous generation, they were weirdly hinged. You felt like you were driving a bus or something. They were sort of, I don't know. You felt like you were really standing on them. Yeah, no, this is alright, this. I think with a little clean, it'll be alright. One thing I need to do actually is order some new reg plates for it, because this plate isn't with the car, so I'm going to take that off and then put its original 65 plate back on. So I'll order those, and as soon as it's ready at Tameside, I can photograph it and get it on the website. Job done. Try and find a nice new home for it. Right, I'm going to head over to Hyde now then, drop this for a valet, and I'm not sure what we're doing next, but we've got quite a busy day. Well, we made it to Tameside Detailing. I've left it here for a full valet. I was quite impressed with it, to be honest. After about a mile, I thought, I could have one of these for myself, just as a little city car. But now I've driven on the motorway in it, forget that. They've come a long way, but it still blows all over the place on the motorway. But no, I'm quite impressed with it. I like the fact it's got power steering. I like the gearbox, and the acceleration's way better than the previous models, so yeah, it's all right. They're not as tiny as they used to be. On the Mark 1s, you used to be able to park them widthways in a parallel parking bay, but I don't think you could with this. It's too big. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the garage now, and tomorrow this will be ready. I need to photograph it and get it on the website and try and sell it. Well, we're at the garage. We've got lots of new stock that's just arrived, so I'll give you a quick tour of that shortly. I haven't really got any renovation updates for you this week. Everything's kind of ground to a halt. That's mainly because my dad's been busy on other projects, but Next week, hopefully, he'll be back and continue the work. But it is looking better. It's still kind of a work in progress though. You'll have to excuse this mess. This is sort of the remnants of my old office area, and now it's now a waiting area / merch area. We've got a customer here in the waiting area. What I need to do next then is go through all my paperwork and go through my desk and stuff and sort it all out. Then I can skip all this furniture. I've got a new piece of carpet coming next week. Then this area is finally completed. It's just finding the time to do it all, to be honest, but I'm getting on with it. Nothing else I can show you really inside. There is one fresh car actually inside. It's this actually. Now I bought this from a YouTube viewer and I was really keen to buy it because it's a late 2022 72 reg Seat Arona FR petrol automatic, which is quite rare in itself, but it's only done 2,500 miles, 2,600 miles. So it's like a new car. It even smells like new inside. So that's a new arrival. That is for sale for 16,995, which is a bit of a bargain really, because well, it's not even 3 years old yet. It's a late 22, so it'll be 3 years old this December. So it's like just over 2 years old. And the cost new of these is about 28 grand, so it's like a 10 grand saving over new. So there's that. My own personal car's waiting for a windscreen and a service. I need to get that booked in. Let's head outside actually. There's more to see. Oh, that reminds me actually, we have got some new pictures on the walls. So yeah, we used a company called, I think they were called Mix Tiles. So they just sort of stick on the wall. It's quite a good idea. I think it's on like some sort of Velcro thing, so you can, swap them around, should you choose to. So yeah, we've got some new pictures on the walls. That's about it really. Oh, we've got a new coffee machine arriving next week as well. I signed like a 3-year finance deal on the coffee machine. So that's coming next week. We've also got a water cooler. So we're getting there, aren't we? Slowly but surely. Right, anyway, let's go and see the cars on the forecourt. So there is plenty of new stock actually. So this Fiesta's brand new. I say it's brand new. It's an 8-year-old Fiesta, but it's new to me. It's a late 2016 66 in, I think, Imperial Blue that's called, but that's a guaranteed seller. The Audi A1 next to it's new. That's a new arrival. That's a 2014 1.6 diesel A1. Oh, the X-Trail over there. That's just arrived as well. That's a 7-seat X-Trail. Just trying to think what else has arrived. The Audi A4 Avant, that's new. And obviously you've seen the little mini Clubman. We bought that in the last episode. So that's now ready to go. I think the last time you saw that, I was taking it to the valeters for a clean. That's been done, so I just need to find a new home for it. It's a nice car, that. It's quite good fun to drive. Oh, and this is new as well, actually. You won't have seen this. It's a late 2016 66 4 Series Grand Coupe. Now this one came in part exchange against the 435 diesel in Snapper Rocks Blue that we had. So it was a lady from the south coast, she drove up in that, part exchanged it, and then went off with a nice new convertible.
Is that an M Sport?
Yeah, so it's a 2-litre diesel, but it's the M Sport, so it looks a bit sportier. I've still got my Lexus LS 430 in the corner. I've had so many people come and look at that, and then no one's bought it. I don't really know why. Anyway, somebody will eventually. Now this A3 Saloon's nice. It's a 2-litre petrol. It's done 50,000 miles. It's a black edition and it's quattro and it's automatic. So on paper it sort of ticks every box.
Trade them?
No, I bought it from a YouTube viewer actually, down in Hertfordshire or Herefordshire somewhere. Yeah, it's a nice looking car. I'd have that myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it. The Renault Captur's just arrived. The Qashqai that we picked up a couple of days ago, that's just sold actually. So that wasn't here long at all, which is always nice. So that one's sold for £10,000. I've done a service, MOT, and I bought a new parcel shelf for it because the other one was missing. And that's about it. So I haven't spent a fortune on it really. So decent little profit margin there. The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, that's just arrived. The Transit Courier has only done about 20,000 miles, that's just arrived as well. And probably the most exciting thing on the forecourt at the moment is the new shape Ford Ranger Wildtrak. That's done like 7,000 miles. It's like a new truck, that. We're slowly getting through the X classes. I think we've got one left.
Really?
We've had a bit of a run on them actually. We had 4, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
We've just agreed to buy another one. But yeah, we sold like 3, so that's good. Another car to give you an update on then is my little Rover 25. This is a bit of a funny story. I bought a Rover 25, did a video with it. Now I don't like Rover at all. So I got it through a service and MOT, did all that. And then I thought, well, you know what, rather than try and sell it, I'll give it away. I'll try and end the story on a high by doing something good for the world. So I announced on the video that all you need to do is comment win on the video and then I'll pick somebody at random. So we got this like random generator thing up, picked a winner, got in touch with him, and he didn't want it. So I literally can't give that car away. So a couple of days later we did the draw again, picked somebody new, and they haven't been in touch either. So it's still in the car park. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. What can you do if you can't give a car away? I don't know. I think I'll leave it another couple of days, and if he hasn't got in touch, then I think I'll just try again, I suppose. There must be somebody out there that wants to take that off my hands. I don't know what it is, 2005, but it's only done like 40,000 miles. It's got leather interior, 12 months MOT, alloys, I think. A new alternator, I know that because the last one broke while I was in it. So I shall keep you appraised. I'll let you know what's happening with the little Rover. I don't know what to do with it next, to be honest. I think I'd have more interest in it if I actually sold it, I think. If I put it on here at 995, I think it'd sell. But I can't really do that now I've announced I'm giving it away. Anyway, you can't help some people, can you? Right, we're going to head down to my mechanics now then. There are a few ongoing projects that I need to see where they're up to. The most important one to me is my S5. Now my S5's having a new timing chain and it's turned into a bit of a major job. So I'm going to go and see where they're up to with that and see if there's anything else ready. Right, well they're resurfacing the road down to my mechanics, so... Oh yeah, we're not gonna get down there today. Oh well. We'll try again tomorrow. At least we'll have a nice smooth road for the first time in about 3 years. Well, we're heading down to my mechanics now, and I believe the road's been resurfaced. We tried to come yesterday and they were digging it up, but I think it's all finished now, which, as sad as it sounds, I'm quite excited to see. It's been just full of potholes and stuff for years. Oh yeah, look at this. Nice and smooth. I'm dreading this now because I need an update on various expensive projects. Just know I'm going to have a big fat bill. Right, we're here now then, and it is chaos as always. Let me go and see where we're up to. Yeah, it does. All right. I've been here 2 minutes and I've already got a headache. I've just got so many ongoing projects. The mocker there to buy back because it had a fault. That needs to be repaired. My S5's nearly done. That's had a new timing chain with a big bill. Oh, that's my camper van. Now that was running rough. I don't know when it last had a service, so it's had a full service basically, including new plugs and leads and stuff. So I think that's ready. Actually took that in part exchange and it's quite an interesting car. It's a 1994 T4 Transporter, but it's got a Holdsworth conversion on it, so it's got the pop-up top and everything. And it's a 5-cylinder petrol automatic, which I think is quite rare. In fact, let me show you around it. It's only done something like 57,000 miles as well, this. So it was a UK van originally, then it was exported to Japan, where it lived for about 10 or 12 years, so there's just no rust on it. And it's in really good condition. So it's got a full sort of kitchenette with a sink and a stove and everything else. Little fridge. Quite smart, isn't it? It's very 90s, but it's all in good condition. And I don't know what you call these. Is it like a rock and roll bed or something? It slides flat anyway, and the top pops up. We've already had loads of interest in this, so I'm pretty sure this will sell quite quickly. Yeah, I just haven't had one of these before. And I know the T4 Transporter does have a solid following, really. People love them.
I don't know why I do like pickup trucks.
You do? The Renault Qashqai behind you is now sold. So that's having... In fact, let me explain. I bought this from a YouTube viewer who had it serviced MOT'd like 2 days before I bought it. So I thought, right, perfect, there's nothing to do. So I sold it, and I like to sell things with a full MOT. So I brought it down to my mechanics just for an MOT, so I thought this will sail through. And it didn't. It needs 4 tyres and front and rear brake discs and pads. So I don't know how this has ever passed an MOT, to be honest. Because if you look at all the tyres, they're all cracked all the way around the edge. And of course I can't sell it like that. Not that I'd want to, but how has that passed an MOT? With not even a single advisor item. And the brake discs and pads on the front and the rear are completely shot. So someone's done an MOT in the dark there. So that's going to cost me a few £100, but anyway, it's done, it's sold, there's still some profit in it. I'm not complaining, I'm just questioning the practices of some MOT stations. I'm going to take my Mitsubishi L200 now then. So I bought this was a one-owner truck. It's old, it's 21 years old, it's a 2004, but it's only done like 50,000 miles. I bought it, I think I paid £1,000 for it, or £1,100 plus VAT. I need to take it today and finish the video, because I did a video on the main channel, which is coming soon. So I need to finish the video with that. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with it, really. It's a shame to scrap it, because it's still got a little bit of life left in it, but it's going to cost me quite a lot of money. Anyway, let's move this L200 then. Yeah, it's only done 52,000 miles. I quite like this era of L200. Squeaking fan belt there. It just sadly needs quite a lot of money spending on it, this. And I don't think it's worth it, in all honesty. Well, I think that's it for today's video. As soon as I finish filming with this, I need to go up to my mechanic's office and pay my bill, which I'm dreading. And that's about it. So thank you once again for watching this week with High Peak. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. There's plenty more videos to come. And yeah, make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.